the Investors Builders Club. Yay! Right, today we're going to look at sealing a deal, closing deals, and dealing is a natural thing for most women, I think. You know, when you go shopping, and especially the markets, and you're bartering. I love to barter in the markets. I just love it. The price is there, and then you negotiate what price you want to pay for it, and you look them in the eye and everything, and you do your little bits and pieces, like communicating with your body and your eyes and everything, and then you agree a price with the vendor, and you do it like quietly, like so that everybody else behind can't hear that you're getting a good deal. Don't you love it? Right, well, deal sourcing in property is basically the same thing for me. I look at it as the same thing. Maybe I shouldn't, but it goes into a deeper, more serious angle. Yes, I know, but it's about building relationship, isn't it? So you're gonna have to build relationships with your investors. So doing deal sourcing isn't just about finding deals and send it over, whatever. You need to be building a relationship with your investors. All right. So I've got 6 items here I'd like to quickly go through with you. 1, preparation and research. 2, building trust. 3, be an active listener. 4, identify the real decision maker who can approve the deal. And 5, using framing methods. That got me a little bit, but yeah, you'll understand in a minute. And finally, the final one, win-win situation at the end. All right, so that both parties gain from it. All right. So, first one, the preparation and research. As a deal sourcer, I know how you feel, the pain you go through. But you look on something. It could be Rightmove, Gumtree, in the Gazette, knocking on a door, speak to someone in the pub, even. You still need to do your due diligence. So research the area, look at the financials, definitely go through the comparables for the area, looking at the crime rate for the street and everything. Someone posted a post the other day on LinkedIn. I thought it was really interesting, actually. He came from a particular area, and sometimes the landlords, they'll buy the property, rent it out, and then not really care who the tenants are, whatever. But he said one thing that I thought was quite, I don't know, really serious, really deep, a deep thought, deep thinking, calls you to think. And that was where he came from, the streets he grew up in, and had friends in, even though the area might not be the well-to-do areas. He made the decision to buy those properties, and when doing deals, selling them to good landlords who will modernize the place, look after the place, build up the reputation of the place, and put tenants in there from the area. So the area that you come from, that you came from, or that you live in, look at it like that as well. Don't, okay, we might talk about crime rates and things like that and prevention and stuff like that, but at the same time, you could be the one person that can change your community that you live in or that you grew up in. Giving back, we say, always give back to the community. So I thought that was really good, and thought-provoking, that's the word, thought-provoking, and wanting to reinvest in your own area where you grew up in, and to raise the level and standards of the people that live in that area. So it's about giving back, isn't it? So talking about financials, you look at the strengths and the weaknesses of the area. Okay, if you're going to do an Airbnb, service accommodation type strategy, then yes, you need to present to the investor things that are, the worst of the worst, what could go wrong, and obviously the best. best foot forward and what the good strengths are. So you also need to understand the value for both parties. So you need to understand where your investor's coming from, what are his ideologies, like I just mentioned that one now, who wants to give back to his area. Another investor might want all hands off, not wanting to travel north to the area where he may have invested in, or south into London, or abroad because he lives abroad. So they are relying on management companies. So it's making sure that you do due diligence to get good management companies to look after the properties. Number 2, building trust with your when doing a deal. You need to get the investor to like you and to trust you. So they need to know you. No pretense, no masks, as it were, of pretending what you're not. Just be yourself. Just be yourself, yeah? So create that transparency with the person that you're doing the deal with. That leads to confidence building as well. So they trust you, and you yourself, you build your own confidence because you're just being you. None of this Instagram fake stuff. But yeah, just be you and go forward on that. So demonstrate interest in the other party as well. So doing that, you need to know their pains and their pain points, their needs. So you're building trust in that way, in valuing where they're coming from and addressing that as much as possible. So talking about that, how do you know what the pains are? How do you know what they're going through? You've got to be an active listener. That's number 3. Be an active listener. So be present in the conversation. A lot of us walking around with our mobile phones still, triple tasking. Women, we're bad for that sometimes, because we're always multitasking, doing different things. But be present in the conversation. Look them in the eye, practice empathy, so you know where they're coming from, you understand how they feel. Because a lot of investors, when they are going for deals, they might not have the time and be present in the area, but they are relying on you as a deal sourcer, to do that work on their behalf. But yes, it's their responsibility as well. I know, they're going to do their own due diligence too. Yes. But you've got to build up that interest, demonstrate that interest with the investor. So being open and honest at the same time. So active listener, maintaining eye contact, and asking open-ended questions. So you want to find out how they feel about certain situations, and be in their shoes, as it were. As if it was you buying the property yourself from their angle, understanding what their values are, really. And when you go through what the criteria are for the investor, we always say to paraphrase what they've asked you to look for. So, and summarize what you understand what they want, so that you're both on the even ground, both communicating, all right, what it is needed. Number 4, identify the real decision maker. Now for this, you don't want to be wasting your time talking with someone that, like the receptionist. No, I'm not putting down receptionist, but I'm just saying you're talking to someone who actually can approve the deal, approve this agreement that you're going through, approve and make the decision as to what price you're walking away with. Okay, you'll normally find out as you're going through the conversation, they'll probably say, oh, I need to speak to whatever, or I need to think about it, or communicate it with someone else, and just be honest and open with them and say that, well, if it's not you, then who should I be relating the information to? So you get the right person who actually makes a decision, who can approve your deal. So whether it's a property you're going to buy and you want a below market price, so you want to know that you're talking to the person who actually owns the property. Yeah, okay. Let me see. What else did I say? Oh yes, next one. I turned the page the wrong way. Go back this way. Number 5. Utilize the framing effect. Did I say effort? Utilize the framing effect. All right. For example, if I give you a simple message, a one-liner message or a sentence, you would read it in a particular way. Person A. Person B would see that message and understand it in another way. All right. So you've got to frame your message in a particular way that suits the listener. So, what could I say on that one? For example, there was a picture, I'll post it somewhere on the page, of an animal. And you tell me what you see. Which animal do you see? I mean, we've all had this before, haven't we? So tell me what you see. What type of animal do you see there in front of you? A duck or a rabbit. Can you see the rabbit? Or can you see the duck? Yeah, we all visualize things and perceive things differently, all right? So that is something that we call framing. So make sure that you're framing your deal when you're communicating to them. For example, if you're talking to someone who's in finance, you talk about revenues, you talk about the costs, you talk about the percentage ROIs and stuff like that. They're coming from a financial background. They want to know all the bits and pieces and the costs of every little thing that, the developmental costs, etc. So you speak in their lingo, as it were. Or you could be talking to someone who's interested in marketing. So, you want to talk about putting it on Airbnb and getting it advertised in a particular way, and which platforms to use and how to dress the apartment and things like that, So, yeah, speak their lingo, as it were, the avenue that they're coming from and what strategies they want to use, all right? And finally, number 6, win-win. So we want to walk away where the solutions benefit both parties, all right? So it's not just us making money as a deal sourcer, but also for the investor or for the person selling their property, renting their property, the landlords. They need to know what's in it for them, as well as yourself, all right? So anything else? Yes, so building stronger relationships. So that we get smooth collaboration as to what we're doing and who we're speaking to. And not only that, we're building a sustainable network of people, a community of who we can speak to. That's speaking to one another as deal sourcers, being upright and honest and not cutting one another out of deals, etc. Going through the numbers, doing our due diligence, helps us as well to develop confidence with one another when we're sharing deals with each other and passing them on to the investor. And likewise, the vendors, people selling their properties, you're building a relationship. You build a good relationship with a person selling their property and guarantee they know someone else who's selling their properties as well, or a landlord. It happens loads of times. I mean, it happens loads of times where they've got another 6 units that they want to get rid of, and you're there. You've built that fabulous relationship with the landlord, and there you go. You've got those other units as well to sell off later on. All right. So that's just my little bit of tip is what I meant to say. I know, funny, isn't it? My little tip for you today. All right, in sealing a deal, closing a deal, be it in the marketplace, right, or with an investor or with a vendor selling their property, even with another deal sourcer, be respectful to each other, and let's build this team and community in a positive way. All right. So, are you ready to join the Wealthy Investors Builders Club and step into your success? The link is below. Subscribe, like, share, and hit that notification bell. Let us help one another to master the art of real estate investing, brick by brick, step by step. Let's rewrite our stories, one investment at a time. The Most High bless.